recorded live at 4ZZZ Studios Brisbane on 102.1 FM.
And broadcast across Australia on the Community Radio Network.
You're listening to Zed Games.
With 10 years experience and over 500 episodes,
Zed Games brings you the best in gaming news, reviews, community and culture.
Want to reach out? Message us on Facebook at ZED Games AU.
Welcome to Zed Games. My name's Hazel, and here in the studio with me is
Caroline.
And
Peter!
Whoa!
Whoop whoop! Wah, wah.
How you two doing?
I like making sound.
Actually,
right.
before
I'm doing
that,
good.
we just heard Bug Snacks by Cara Cara Benito and Find Your Flame by the Sonic music crew from Sonic Frontiers. They all have names, but I'm not reading them out because there's too many. But how have you two been?
I've been good. Been away for a while, under the weather and whatnot, but back again now. I'm glad to be back.
I've been playing games.
You have. I've seen.
Yes. And been disappointed by some of them. Take a guess.
We'll get to that.
Yep. That being said, I've not been playing any of the new ones more recently other than God of War. That has occupied pretty much all of my time while I've been off sick. So
How's that one?
How is it?
it is good from start to finish.
Nice.
I have finished it on the medium difficulty.
Are you thinking about reviewing it or no?
I mean, what's not been said by everybody else? It's pretty damn good from start to finish.
Well, up to you. But, just curious. So
I could give a detailed
I
review.
really have not heard much about the new God of War. It's
haven't
called
either.
Ragnarok, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
God of War Ragnarok.
Is the boy still there?
He is. It's exactly 2 years later. Fimbulwinter's been pretty much going on, and if anyone knows anything about Norse mythology, that leads into Ragnarok with other things kicking it off. And the game stays pretty true to Norse mythology with certain aspects of it, sort of thing, but they weave their own story with Kratos and the whole thing together sort of idea. It's definitely a continuation of what they did with the gameplay from the 2018 God of War, and have just expanded upon it even more. I do agree with their decision to not make it into a trilogy of games and just keep it to the two.
Okay.
But that being said, they have put in a lot of extra filling stuff. Not so much to pad out the story, because the story's already got like 40 hours or something.
There's enough God of War games.
Yeah.
Like,
there's so many.
But they give you plenty to do, both during the game and after the main story has finished as well. There is stuff that I still want to go back and do.
Like
even
side questy kind of stuff?
No, like extra side beat story stuff that you do for other characters that you want to have to finish because it fleshes out their character, their story so much more.
Okay.
And it does have a fake out ending as well.
Ooh, I do like a fake out ending.
Not necessarily a fake out ending, but it has two. It has one where you see one set of credits, and then a short time later you can see another set of credits. Yeah.
Well,
that's not too spoilery. It has two endings.
Keep playing after the credits.
Well, it directly tells you to.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think we better hear this week's gaming news coming straight from Zara.
This week in gaming news, ads in my Windows 11. You're probably familiar with the Start menu in Windows, an easy-to-access feature that allows you to access programs quickly. Well, it seems ads will be joining the Start menu with testing underway. Some of these ads will be used to promote Microsoft services. Recommended website listings and an ad in the account menu are already present in preview builds, and there's more features planned for Windows 11. Windows states on their site, "We've been working on adding more valuable content to the recommended section in Start, and are excited to introduce a new content type, websites." PS5s, in my Honda? Honda and Sony have recently created a new venture called Sony Honda Mobility, and with this venture comes an interesting proposal, a car designed to maximize the entertainment possibilities that Sony has to offer. That's right, an electric car that allows drivers to always be prepared with music, movies, and video games. Yasuhide Mizuno, chair of the joint venture, says that the first car model may hit North American markets by 2025. However, a very specific feature may need to be developed first before we can see PlayStation 5s in cars: autonomous driving. After all, you can't drive and play video games at the same time. Shovelware in my PlayStation Store? PlayStation is cracking down on shovelware games. That is, games that have been reskinned, non-games, and games designed to just give people platinum trophies. A letter to developers states that shovelware games will be either banned or delisted, and involved developers are at risk of being banned from publishing future games. PlayStation states, SIE strives to ensure that customers can search and discover the full breadth of experiences on PlayStation, and that partners have a fair means of being discovered. When partners oversaturate or spam PlayStation Store with many variants of the same type of content, it can negatively impact both the customer and partner experience. Monsters in my pocket? Despite Pokemon Scarlet and Violet's rocky launch, with the games being criticized for glitches, bugs, and generally underwhelming, Nintendo has reported 10 million sales, with it being reported to have the highest global sales level on any of the company's consoles in the first 3 days. However, many players have reported returning their copies due to the experiences with the game, and successfully receiving refunds. And now for some upcoming games. November 24th brings Dysteria for the PC, November 25 brings Horse Club Adventures 2, Hazelwood Stories for the PS5 and PS4, November 28th brings Warhammer 40k Inquisitor Marty Soriatus DLC for the PC, November 29 brings Gotham Knights Heroic Assault for the PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, In Nightmare for the PC, The Night Witch for the PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, Xbox One and Switch, and Soccer Story for the PC, PS4, Xbox One and Switch. November 30 brings Warhammer 40k Darktide for the PC and Xbox Series X. December 1st brings Dwarven Skykeep for the PC, Gundam Evolution for the PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4 and Xbox One, Romancing Saga Minstrel Song Remastered for the PS5, PS4, Switch and PC. That's it this week in gaming news.
Thank you, Zara.
Yes, thank you.
Now, we are going to discuss the Pokemon launch soon, but not right now. Right now, PlayStations are in cars again.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've gone back in time.
Yep.
Like, I've just recently rewatched Too Fast, Too Furious, and now they're putting PlayStations in cars.
Yep.
And I'm like, what's happening? What's going on?
Yeah, I mean,
Shenanigans.
As they mentioned, you've got to get past the first hurdle and make them, autonomous to drive. I don't want to be playing my Need for Speed while also Need for Speeding.
People weren't playing them while driving back in the day.
No.
It was for your passenger, or you parked and played it.
If you weren't skilled enough.
I can multitask.
Caroline, you don't even have your license yet.
That's why she can multitask.
All right. PlayStation shovelware as well. This is a welcome change because, oh my god, have you looked at the PSN store?
Not recently.
No,
the PSN store is completely clogged with games that are specifically designed. They'll charge you like $1 to download them,
and then you
just like instantly get a platinum trophy.
Yep, you load it up. That's all you need to do.
Yeah,
Steam's had them for ages. Steam started to crack down on them, then stopped. I'm glad PlayStation's finally doing it.
Like, it's not like exploding your trophy score is the problem. The problem is that there's so many of them that you can't see the real games.
Yep.
I want to see
the
games.
PlayStation Store is as good as it is for its layout sort of idea. It's not designed for the massive amount of games that are on there nowadays to have to try and search for.
And also searching on a controller is a bit meh.
Yeah. And you can refine the experience a little bit by using the PlayStation app on your phone to try and search the store and do it that way. But it's still, there's so much stuff on there nowadays that is shovelware that's mixed in amongst everything else. And you do have the refinement features on there to select certain things and whatnot, but there's still just so much. And the layout with the cubes and boxes
there's not really a way to filter things that are being maliciously put on the platform.
Yep.
Because they're always going to mislabel them.
Yep.
You got to just crack down.
Yeah, that's the disadvantage of having an automated system for approvals and stuff on the PlayStation Store.
Yeah.
True that.
Ads in Windows 11. I just want to say, ads are already in Windows 11. When you open the start menu, it will, like on a brand new install of Windows, you will see a bunch of suggested apps that are not, like, they don't come with your install. They're trying to sell you stuff.
Yes, and I hate it.
Mm-hmm.
They're just expanding this to now include, like, regular old ads like you see on the internet.
And I hate that too.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm just saying, they're being evil.
Yeah. Like
they're just adding extra evil.
Yes.
Like, I get the whole point of trying to raise extra fund for your developers and other things like that, if it's invested back into the business. But with an operating system, like Windows and things like that, something that you expect to be able to purchase, get updates for, a certain amount of time after the initial install sort of thing.
I think this is kind of based on the fact that nobody pays for Windows anymore. Like, it either comes with your computer or your, But,
Yeah. Cool.
And we got a review to talk about. We got a video game.
Oh, where
Video
could that be
game.
coming from?
Video
The
game.
video game is coming from inside the house.
Dun, dun, dun.
We are going to be talking about Caroline.
No, I'm not a video game.
No, that was your cue.
We're talking about Lunistice.
Lunistice.
I think that's how you pronounce it.
Now, what the hell is a Lunistice?
A Lunistice is a game by a Grumpy Fox and published by Deck 13. And it's a kind of platforming, runny, jumpy game. Whoa, that was a...
Ignore that.
You play as Hannah the Tanuki, and you're running through, I think, like 7 different levels? Or 7 different themes.
Environments?
2 in each. Environments, that's the word, thank you. And they're kind of like dreams. They're weird dreams, everything's kind of disjointed, but there's a theme, and you run, you jump, you platform, you collect the little cranes, you try not to die too much, and you reach the goal. It's kind of like Sonic a bit, and it's in a very early game sort of style, like PlayStation 1.
So a little bit more polygonal.
Yes, many polygons, very pointy. Or I would say not very many polygons.
Yeah.
Some polygons. High definition textures.
Just enough polygons.
Yes. It's very basic looking. It's very cute.
It is very cute. I did see it, and I did get to play a little bit of it.
And yeah, there's things that you can 100%, like collecting all the collectibles in the level. There's secret little side paths that are harder than the main path, and you collect the letters of your name, and that unlocks a secret path at the end of the level that you can unlock, and you get some little lore that I have completely forgotten about because it's just a little text file that you can read.
So who do you play in the game?
Hannah the Tanuki.
Hannah the Tanuki.
Yes. And once you've beat it, it unlocks 2 other characters.
Oh.
I believe it is Tori from the indie game Tori 3D. And
Tori 3D, which I believe we talked about on last year's Halloween special.
Ooh. So spooky. And Tuki from Holomento, I believe that is how you say it. But they're both little extra characters from other indie games, and it just lets you play the game again pretty much as a different character in a different play style. Like I think Tori, you die in 1 hit but go really fast. And the other one, you can't jump very well, but you have this slashing attack that is pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
A little bit harder to do the platforming, but better during the combat sort of stuff.
Another thing I would say is make sure you go into the menu first, because I beat the entire game before realizing that you could turn on a little shadow to help you with platforming, and that was like my main gripe with the game, because I cannot see dimensions very well.
Yep, the 3D platforming Shadow.
Yes.
Very well known.
Yes.
Or should be well known, but a lot of people still don't seem to know about it.
No, I didn't. I was like, oh, it would be so much better if there was a shadow. And then looked into the menu and was like, oh, there's an option for that.
I'm glad they give you an option to turn it on and off. Most 3D platformers will just have it. But I'm glad they give you an option to turn it on and off.
Yeah, except it's off by default, which is a bit... it's a bit frightening.
Yeah. I think you'd think they would have put it on.
I'm a strong proponent of checking the settings menu before you ever start playing a game, because as a disabled person, there's always just good stuff in there that'll make the game more fun for you.
Yep.
Well, I personally like beating my head against a brick wall until, I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't like hearing you scream at games from the couch.
I mean, I did beat it.
You did beat it.
Eventually.
You're nothing if not persistent.
I mean, it took me about 4 or 5 hours to 100% at least the collectible bits.
Okay.
So it's a good little chunk. It's the developer said it's designed to be played in like short bursts.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a good little bite-sized thing. Except I get a bit too obsessed, and then 5 hours later,
Nothing's wrong with sitting down and playing games for 5 hours. Don't let your parents tell you otherwise.
They can't tell me nothing.
Look, uni's over.
Yep, I can lose myself.
I don't go to uni. I work full time.
Rip. But yeah, it's a good little game. There's nice replayability to beat your times, beat it without dying, get all the collectibles, 100% it. Very nice. Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah. Sounds like a good little game sort of thing.
It was the entry drug into Sonic for me, so I played this. I went and played Sonic Frontiers, and now I'm gonna play every single Sonic game in the catalog, pretty much. So
I have heard that about the new Sonic Frontiers. It's supposed to be quite good.
Tangent.
You can't play every Sonic game because there are so many horrible, awful little side games.
Yep.
That are just not worth it.
True. Okay, I'm gonna play.
I'll make you play Knuckles Chaotix, and you'll take back everything you said.
I don't like the sound of that.
Yeah.
Anyway, this game is available on Steam, GOG, and Switch. It's about $7.50 on each of the platforms. I'm pretty sure. At least it's $7.50 on Steam.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Not too expensive either for such a little game.
Yeah, it's a good little bite size.
Would you say this is something good for kids, young adults? Teenagers? Who do you reckon it's aimed at, and who would be able to play it?
Young adults and teenagers, maybe young kids if they're big into gaming.
Yeah,
I think the skill floor is a bit high for little kids, but
at least
it's
let them
definitely
try.
Fun for the whole family.
Yeah.
That's definitely something I've been thinking about a lot more. Like, what age would this be appropriate, or what skill level would be required to get into this game? Like, absolutely non-gamers, but that are older, that can get used to using controls.
Okay, I'd say maybe a bit more established gamers.
You should have played an easier 3D platformer before you play this.
Yes.
Cool.
All right.
So you're listening to Zed Games, is that it?
You're listening to Zed Games.
You're listening to Zed Games.
Hello, you're listening to Zed Games.
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 Perfect. Thank you.
My name's Hazel. I'm here in the studio with Peter and Caroline.
Hoi.
And I promised earlier in the show that we would talk about Pokemon.
Yeah.
Now we got an upcoming review of Pokemon from our very own Caroline.
Yo.
But we just got to talk a little bit about the launch.
Yeah.
Hot garbage.
No, the thing
it's
is
a soft launch.
Soft like a turd hitting the pavement.
I think the term for this is actually hard launch.
Yep.
Because the game is being returned in droves because basically, like, if you're playing it handheld, you may not notice too many problems. But when you put it into the dock and play it on a TV, it upscales the resolution, I think, to 1080p from 720. And the game starts to run at like 15 to 20 FPS.
Yep.
And it looks awful.
Yep.
Buggy. So many
and
bugs.
beyond just the performance, it's just loaded with insane bugs. If you get on Twitter and you just look for Pokemon, you will see so many videos of just like
WTF moments.
TikTok as
there's
well.
A specific
It's
cave
full.
in the game where you go for like one of the story quests. And when you're in there, people have recordings of just like random objects, like Pokemon, Pokeballs, just like random stuff. It'll just pop into existence in the cave.
Cool.
Hang out in like a specific spot in the middle, and then maybe disappear, or maybe it just hangs around for the rest of the scene.
Outstanding. I need to go find that cave.
I saw just like a Psyduck appear for like half a second, just like like short enough to make you think you were going crazy.
Yep.
If you had seen that and not had it on recording.
As a game developer, I can confirm it's not a bug, it's a feature.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's supposed to make you think you're crazy.
Yes.
And there's also
the fact that it was a Psyduck just confirms it.
Yeah. I've also seen a what's the big bear one?
Ursaring?
Ursaring. Just standing right in front of the camera so you can't see anything that's happening in the shot.
Also, if you battle trainers in a city, there is a chance that just pedestrians will walk right through your battle.
Yeah.
Right
hey,
through
I'm
your
walking
Pokemon.
here.
Hey, I'm walking here.
There's an additional bug.
Yep.
Where there's co-op in this game. The co-op is interesting to say the least.
It breaks the game so bad.
Oh.
But
that's where you get the other person riding on the Pokemon.
If you both try to get on
walking.
your mount at the same time, the second person will become extremely long and lanky all of a sudden.
It's
like
True
all of
Life
their
for
limbs will
myself.
just be stretched out to like twice the size, and they look insane.
Finally, I feel represented in a video game.
And I saw a clip of someone doing that and then getting on their mount, and their mount shrunk down to like the size of a small dog, but they stayed the same.
Okay.
It was just amazing. I was like, how does that happen? What did you do?
Yeah.
Why is the size of the thing relative to the other thing, and how and what?
And it's
Didn't
so
you
odd.
test this?
Yeah, it's so odd that a lot of this is happening specifically in the docked mode as well, when it's supposed to be getting...
I think all the physics bugs are happening regardless.
Right.
But the game is like noticeably much slower when docked.
Yeah, which you would have expected from like a first gen Nintendo Switch launch game, potentially.
How long's the Switch been out? Like 6 years?
2016. Yeah, 6 years.
Yeah. And like I know it's old hardware, like it's a NVIDIA Tegra or whatever the hell GPU, but like
the chipset's putting on a few.
But
you
Breath
should
of
have
the
learned.
Wild did
This is a
so
first
much
party
better.
game too. Like Game Freak is part of Nintendo. They have access to like the guts of the Switch if they really need it.
Yep.
And they still manage to like they've made other Pokemon games on the damn thing. What happened to this one?
Did they just,
rushed it. I'm pretty sure it's just they rushed it.
Either they've rushed it or overscoped and tried to put too much in.
Possibly both.
Probably both. Probably
Probably.
both.
It is common to happen.
Yeah. Video game publishing.
Yep. Development.
All right. Well, I think it's time for us to say goodbye.
Aww.
It happens every week.
Another week, another hour gone.
Yeah.
So fast.
Yes.
Gotta
Well,
go fast.
Fun. So much to chat about.
So many things. Hey, you know, it'd be good if we had more time.
Stop it.
Thanks for listening to Zed Games.
If you'd like to listen to more, check out our podcast on Spotify.
Or follow us on social media at Zed Games AU.
See you next time.